I brought up awareness, acceptance, action around linking. You have to be aware. And I feel like a lot of times we're out in the world not realizing that we're overstimulated, that we're doing too much for others, that we're not asserting ourselves. And if you're aware of it, that's the first step. You can't change something that you're not aware of. If you're just blindly opening your heart up and not having the shields that you need and being tuned into others and paying attention to them, you're going to continually burn out. But if you're aware of it, the next step is you have to accept that this is your pattern. This is what you're doing. Accept that it's maybe not working for you. Once you become aware and you've practiced acceptance, then you can take action and change it. And the way you change it is by speaking volumes. So that means we all start usually pretty quietly. Like I feel like to say something's not working for you in this room, you already have to be at a pretty loud volume. You could say it by writing it in a basket much more quietly, right? But I'll give you an example. You're in the car driving with someone, and it's too hot in the car for you. Maybe like me, your hormones sometimes are going crazy, it's hot, whatever, it's too hot. So HSP, speaking volume. This is the way you tell the person that it's a little hot. They're driving. They didn't even see you do it. But if you were driving, you would know your passenger did that. You know you would. Okay? And then you maybe pick up the piece of paper and do this a little bit. That's maybe the second volume. Maybe you start to shed a layer. Okay, we're getting up to the third one. I am actually hot. Then you're getting up to the level 3. Then you might say out loud, but quietly, it's really hot. Okay, if it's an 80%er, a dandelion over there, then listen to the music, keeping you safe in the car. They haven't even heard you yet. The music's on. So then we start moving up the volume, and sometimes it's just the language you use. You might say, I'm really warm. Would it be okay if we roll down the windows or turn on the air conditioning? But by then, you've already given 5 levels of communication that it's too hot. I'm choosing something simple that we can giggle about, but there's big issues in your life where this applies, right? So I don't know about you, but by then, I'm getting kind of ticked off that there's no response. They don't care. They're so self-involved. They're so selfish. They hate me. They're obnoxious. I don't know, whatever it is. So generally for me around 5, I'm like,
God, it's hot in here. Why won't you turn on the air conditioner?
Well, that's 9, right? I just tended to skip. I like to skip 5 through 9 and go right to 9, 10. And because I feel so frustrated that they haven't heard me, and that, it's obviously it's rude not to ask your guests in the car if they'd like to for the air. In fact, Nicole, where are you? When I gave Nicole a ride here, I said that my car has, you could sync or unsync the air conditioning. Like, that's your control. Right when we started. So the ranking is using volume appropriately, finding your way to work your way up to the volume, through the volumes. And if you use ranking in your self-care, then you don't have to have that blowout screaming thing. And guess what? People like it when you're clear. But the trick is that most of us, by the time we actually ask a direct question loud enough for the other person to hear us, we're overstimulated because we feel like we're yelling. Because we think we're talking to others. We act like we're everybody's highly sensitive. And that sabotages our self-care.